Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to welcome you to a new episode in another series of A Need for Creed. Today we're talking about the prophets and the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These series were written by our friend, our dear friend, Muadhan Zaman. And how do we begin? Do we begin with once upon a time? No way. We begin with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the story of Allah's messengers. All nations in their history had messengers sent to them in the past, urging them to worship Allah, not false gods, and to holding very, very fast. Allah created us to worship Him. Misguided, we wouldn't know what to do, telling us the things that Allah requires us, and the prophets taught us too. With the coming of Allah's messengers, mankind was left without a plan. On Judgment Day, excuses-making disbelievers will have nowhere to flee. From the time of Adam to Muhammad, 124,000 prophets came. Of those, 315 were messengers. They called to Allah's oneness all the same. A prophet reveals the laws of past prophets that people had believed and mistook, whereas a messenger came with update laws, sometimes even a book. The first messenger, Noah, who preached to his people precisely and wisely of Islam. The last one was Muhammad, who perfected the deen with the Holy Quran. Allah's messengers to most of the prophets by Angel Jibreel were conveyed. Some prophets spoke directly to Allah, like Moses, who truly obeyed. The best of the faithful, driven prophets, called Uliya Azim, were 5. Noah, Ibrahim, Musa, Muhammad, and Isa, who's still alive. Oh, we shouldn't choose between the prophets, but love them all very dearly. Sent from one true God, the prophets conveyed Allah's message very clearly. Muhammad, the seal of the prophethood, he was the last one ever sent. Anyone who believes in a prophet after him will receive punishment. To make fun of the prophets is disbelief in Allah, so one should always refrain. Even Isa will follow Muhammad's way when he comes back to earth again. If a person really loves God, they follow the Prophet Muhammad's way. Allah would then love them back, forgive them, and take away their sins and take all their sins away. The prophets were blessed with miracles that astounded those who saw, but they never bragged about themselves, calling to obey Allah's laws. Though born at different times, the prophets were like a brotherhood. They set high standards of behavior to follow. All were pious and good. Each prophet spoke in the language of the people he was sent to correct. The prophets were handsome men, and their manners were quite an effect. The prophets were generous, kind, calming, and easygoing to be around. That's why in their close companions, the strongest of faith could be found. Because we can't copy an angel's actions, the prophets were all real men. They ate, they married, they slept. and died, never calling anyone to worship them. All messengers had halal wages. At some stage, each one shepherded sheep. Zechariah did carpentry. Dawood worked metal, each earning his keep. Every prophet is buried where he died. The earth doesn't make their bodies rot. The prophets are all alive and pray in their graves. Understood that we cannot. We must never forget that Allah chose the prophets over all of the mankind. So the next time you're told to choose your hero, try to pick the best of mankind. Thank you very much for listening. And until we meet again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.